up because she doesn't have the option of putting us up or not. Personally, for me, I don't believe Amber for a second in terms of...
Because of the Dustin thing?
Because of the Dustin thing,
and
because she keeps making this argument for the good people, but in what way is she perceiving me as a good person anymore when she thinks I've done this thing to her that she blew up with me about, although maybe she's forgotten about this or whatever, but, you know, she had an outright outburst at me about how horrible I was, then told Dustin that I was going to vote to keep him and voted him out, which is lying, breaking my word, and going after her best friend and her ally.
Yeah.
Why should I think that she thinks I'm a good person who she wants to win the game at this point? Also, while for the HOHs and POVs down the end, going against Dick or Danielle is a little more difficult, but for winning $500,000, either you or I, if Amber, let's say we're there, which when there's 6 people left, anyone can be there, you know, because especially if we're going after other people and they're going after us, then right now both of us are down 2-0 to Amber on the jury, no doubt about it. Whereas Dick and Danielle, they're going to have the same problems that we have with the jury. At least there's a debate to be had then. If it's Amber, there's no way in fucking hell Dustin's voting against Amber. And there's no way in hell Jen is voting for either of us. At least against Amber, you know. Maybe against Dick or Danielle, maybe against Zach, who the hell knows. But for me, it's like, Amber, I'm down 2-0 for sure. Zach, totally, who knows how Dustin would vote if it were me and Zach or you and Zach. Me and you or Dick and Danielle, I think we have a chance with Dustin and Jen as well. The problem is, like, and I'm sure you feel the same way, is like I'm looking at it from all angles. I'm looking at it from the final vote. I'm looking at it from this week's vote. I'm looking at it as strike first or not strike at all or maybe get striked against.
Yeah.
I'm looking at it as going with people that I personally care for versus people that I think strategically might be better choices. I'm looking at how we can make it through next week, let alone the end of the game. So I agree with you, and I do think it's a tough choice, and I think we should talk about it throughout the night. If I'm being, you know, totally honest, which why the hell wouldn't I be? I mean, I'm always silly, but I'm saying if I'm giving you my gut instinct is still to keep it the same, and that's probably the side that I will, you know, debate on for most of the night. But I clearly feel the same way as you, have the same thoughts and have the same concerns, and I don't like you having to worry about them. So I am, you know, very open to discussion as always. But I have also given a lot of thought to it, and my instinct is to say that I think we're doing the right thing. But I can understand why you're worried.
Yeah.
Jessica, please do not obstruct your microphone.
You look so stressed out.
I am, because like it's another like decision, like if you make it the wrong way, then.
Well, we took a pretty outrageous chance 2 weeks ago, and it paid off. And you know, here we are again, faced with another choice. Yeah. We did well by ourselves last time, so I believe that whatever we decide, we'll do well again. So we'll talk about it. Did Zach try and pump you up while you were with him outside? Give you?
Well, Dick was out there for most of it, so he couldn't. But when Dick went inside, he just said like, "Looks like Amber's making her rounds," and I was like, "Yeah, she is." And he was like, "Well, I want to talk to Eric too," and that was pretty much it. Because then I got called to the diary room. And I beat him too. So.
You beat him in tetherball?
Yeah.
How come we have 18 beers and 2 bottles of wine and we're not drinking yet?
I don't know. I just like, ugh.
I feel the same way. I mean, obviously, Amber, I'm sure some of it was the same, but she obviously gave me a spiel about how she's wanted us to be the Final Four all along, and how she meant it when Dustin did those things in that veto, and that she really thought he showed himself
after you guys.
as being selfish, and I'm not going to come after you guys. I said, but Amber, let's even just say you don't come after us. Let's say Zach is just gone, for argument's sake, or one of Dick and Danielle are gone. So, and then you win HOH next week, and you don't come after us, and you nominate whichever two of Dick, Danielle, and Zach are left. Now, first of all, this scenario sounds very far-fetched to me anyway, that she's winning and she's nominating those two people, but fine. Let's just say Danielle goes home and next week she wins, so she puts up Zach and Dick. All right? One of Zach or Dick come down. Who's going up? You know it's me, for sure. And I said that to her outright. I said, Amber, I'm not like a fucking idiot. Like, I was like, and then you have a scenario in which I'm up. Are people going to pass up the chance to send me home? I don't really know. And she's like, well, but you'd have, you know, Jessica's vote, you'd have Jameka's vote. And I said, yeah, theoretically I would. But I also sent Dustin out of the house, and, you know, you could be sitting there with the option of sending me out. So, you know, I said, I'm not, you know, I guess, I mean, I'm sure that you feel the same way to some extent, but for me, I'm really past how do I get me, you, Amber, and Jameka to the Final Four. Or no, I'm saying, or how do I get me, you, Dick, and Danielle to the Final Four? I'm thinking, how do I get me and you to the Final Four? And then, no matter who we're there with, all the same, we need to win the HOHs and the vetoes.
I'm worried about next week.
I know. So what I'm saying is, from my standpoint, I'm trying to look at what is the scenario in which next week and the week after we live to make it so that we get to compete in the competitions where if we win, we stay, and if we lose, we go. Because at the point of the four, there is no more trust, loyalty, friendships, alliances, debating, fighting for strategy. If you win HOH and veto, you stay, and if you lose HOH and veto, you go. And it doesn't matter if we're here with Amber and Jameka, Dick and Danielle, Zach, or anybody else, you know. So we have 2 more weeks that we need to get through. And for me, I'm just trying to figure out how do we get through those 2 more weeks. With the least enemies as possible, and the least votes cost as possible, and the least people coming after us as possible. For better or worse, we did make an agreement with them, and we sat up here last night and we said that we had it again.
So, I don't care. We had an agreement with Dustin. We'll send him home.
I know. Pet the cat.
I mean, do you not think I like?
No, please give me your point of view.
Tomorrow when you don't use it, is everyone not going to be like, okay, it's so blatantly obvious that
Well, let's say
we're not going after?
Okay. Well, tomorrow one of 2 things will happen, okay? Either it will be blatantly obvious that we're with the 2 of them, or it will be blatantly obvious that we're against the 2 of them. So, right? Because either we will have lied to them and be going after them, or it will be obvious to everyone else that we're not going after them. One of those things will be clear tomorrow.
Right.
So which one of those things are we safer being clear with? The fact that we're with them and they're not coming after us, or the fact that we're against them and they are?
We don't know if they're coming. Oh, wait. We don't know that even if we are with them, they're not coming after us.
Yeah, and we don't know if we go against them if we're safe with anyone either.
Oh, God. Ugh. This game is happening.